Alrighty. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the DNR Racing Network. On Monday nights now, alongside of me is Will. Good evening, Will.
Yes, good evening, Brian.
What an interesting cup race we had on TV, but now we come back here tonight, and we have this new side of things of the AMS Cup Series. A whole new group to us, so we have to get more familiar with this group here. So I'm gonna go over a few things that they do here. So they're qualifying at the moment. Let's see here, we got the 24 right here. I'm gonna go over a few little things here that is gonna help us out. So all their starts or restarts are on leader. It can go anywhere between the pace car, pulls off, and green flag. And I guess they're that's pretty good. So about right.
Defending champion is the number 8 who drive. He drives the number 8. Greg
Elliott.
Help me out. Yes, indeed, Brian. Thank you with a nice save. Runner-up of the last 2 seasons, it says here, is Josh Farmer in the number 46 machine. So,
that's a
man, he's been a bridesmaid, unfortunately, the past 2 seasons. Hopefully he can get it done this season, Brian.
Let's hope. Let's absolutely hope that he can. So we're going to try to bring these guys on this commentary. So, yeah, he's got a Van Halen paint scheme and Ted
Van Halen.
I like that. That's the paint scheme.
Our friend Robert would like that car, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. AMS uses the 6-race chase format style, so that's a lot different than what we're used to. So, but we have to readapt to new things.
15, indeed, and 15 drivers are going to be able to fight for that championship whenever it comes down to those 6 races. So that's another key factor too. And this league, like many other leagues, Brian, enforces the double yellow line rule at super speedways. So no going down below.
Which I think is perfect. Because that line is technically out of bounds. Anywhere, which is how it should be, I believe.
Yes, in the real world. In real life, NASCAR Stock Car Racing, ARCA Series, when they race at a super speedway, Daytona, Talladega, Atlanta, you cannot go racing below that double yellow. You almost have to act like it's a wall. If you get forced down there, cool, but try not to advance your position. Try to get back in line. You can go down there to avoid wrecks, as far as I'm aware of. We could probably talk about their points now, if you think we can, Brian, or...
Yeah, so they do a little bit of a bonus point. So they get 1 point for pole position. You get 1 point for leading the lap. You get 1 point for leading the most laps. You get 3 additional points for winning the race. And then they do 2 points per win for race win points towards the chase. And there will be 10 points races in the regular season, plus 6 races. So that's interesting. Now I'm going to go over a little bit of the race information here, Will. So as you see here, Daytona, 2.4 miles. The current track temp is 66 degrees. With a 84% humidity, partly cloudy, 4-mile-per-hour wind. They are fixed at 70% fuel, 1 fast repair. And it is me and Will up here in the commentary booth. So I'm gonna go over the starting grid real quick, and then we're gonna bring you guys the best live action we can. So starting P1 will be Brian Baker. P2 would be Joseph Madigan. P3 would be Jonathan Mazzella. P4 would be Michael Cochran. P5 would be Adam Bolton, aka Evo. P6 would be Dylan Kritz. P7 would be Randy Sample. P8 would be Kane Lee. P9, the runner-up of the past 2 seasons, old Josh Farmer. P10 would be Jason Tyler. P11 would be Kevin Trozinski. P12 will be Aaron Spear. P13 will be Greg Elliott. P14 will be Will Roberts. It's not the Will that I have, it's a different one. P15 will be Antonio Bonani. P16 will be Michael Carter. P17 will be Keenan Miller. P18 will be Ryan Honeycutt. P19 will be Chris Ostrander. P20 will be Avery McDonald. And P21 will be Jeff Saltz. So a nice little pack here, 21 will for sure.
And that's a pretty decent number as well, to have a super speedway race, especially Daytona. They did say some of their drivers were down in Daytona for this weekend's 500 or this weekend's races. So some either kind of taking the weekend to travel or even go to the 500 itself. And like you said, not the same Will Roberts. It's crazy to come across someone with the same name as thou, but it happens from time to time. Just ready, trying to get out of the pits, and wow.
Yes, a little
that
mishap.
can. I tell you, it going from just a standing start, give it some gas, it can be real simple to do, Brian. Just from some racing experience that I have. Oh, look, a Sinclair car. Cool.
Yeah.
So, yes, Daytona, as we all know, 1959, first race held here. After that, Richard Petty has the most Daytona 500 victories held here. Dale Earnhardt has the most wins here as a driver.
Well, now it's
30.
Because Hendrick now tied that record with Richard Petty.
Well, Rick Hendrick Motorsports tied Petty Enterprises as most winningest car owners with 9. So yes, as far as car owners go, they have 9 equal. As far as driver wise, Richard Petty has 7, the most of anyone.
All right, well, the pace truck's about to pull off here. These guys are
and
about to go green.
The one cool thing that you read in the notes there, the leader can go at any time. The pace vehicle pulls off, so they have that much discretion of when they can start or restart the race.
Absolutely. As we see here, the first front two are Baker and Kritz and Mike in a single file lane here on the bottom lane. Pacing themselves at the current time as they come to complete lap 1 to take lap 2.
And it's all about pacing yourselves in a 250-mile event. You don't want to overdo it too soon.
Oh, I like that 78.
Don't want to exhaust yourself too early, regardless whether It's mental fatigue that you have exhausted yourself with, or even the physical fatigue of just trying to hold the steadiest wheel possible all throughout this track. Everybody's still kind of racy though, still, for the most part. There is a couple of cars further back, but pretty much everybody still grouped up in this pack here, Brian.
Oh yeah. They're very tight still, but at least about 12. And then they kind of space themselves out a little bit throughout the field. We know Super Speedway racing can cause some friction throughout the race. Some are nice and easy, some like to be steady and just like to ride, just in case if there is a big one. So, now I'm not sure, I think it's about like 30 laps of fuel, I do believe they do get. Or 40.
About 25 to 30, I do believe.
Because that's how
roughly around there. Because these drivers have the same percentage of fuel, of which I do believe you guys run in your league over in the B&R side of things. So,
yes, sir, indeed. Still up front: Baker, Kritz, Cochran, Mazzella, Sample, Roberts, Spear, Farmer, Taylor. Now, well, you see that outside lane starting to form with a Toyota leading. And we have a Chevy lead in that inside lane, so.
Not too many Fords out here tonight. Maybe, what is that, like 2 or 3, but everybody else is either a Chevy or a Toyota. So.
So you see the 78 gets left up outside as everybody migrates to the bottom to make it one big single lane groove here, Will.
Yeah, single file line down at the bottom now, Brian, as pretty much everybody's given up for the most part on that outside lane, it looks like.
Now there is some separation between that whole front pack. The problem is you don't want too much of a separation, Will, because now you're going to kind of get left out a little bit, and now they're going to start pulling away lap by lap. So you want to try to keep it very close and try not to lose that front pack, because then it's a big charge here on out. So.
Yeah, you kind of know from experience from just a few nights ago how tough of an ordeal that can be whenever you're like, well, I'm just going to ride around, and, you know, that caution will come, but then your group kind of got split up because of either maybe penalties or mistakes. Something happened throughout the race, getting on and off pit road, or I think basically another thing was like the leader of your pack also had some trouble, but also just it being a caution-free race didn't help any either, Brian, but just you alluded about the struggle can be so real trying to stick with that front group when you go into that conserve mode, just riding biding your time until maybe that first pit stop, or trying to avoid what could be the first wreck of the day that you're trying to avoid.
Yes, sir, indeed. Well, that are true facts. But the 44 and the 77, yes, that's the 77. is the last car in this front pack, and then the 35 is in that second pack there. You see there as they start to get grouped up to try to run down these top 8 up here in the front. Also, the other main key is to keep and hold a steady wheel. So you can catch the front pack. From what I see here, it's 3 separate packs. Well, as you see here, the 77 is going to look to try to go on the outside, do a little side drag to the 44 of Taylor, but Taylor has the momentum being behind Mr. Farmer there in that Van Halen Chevy.
Yeah, the top, what is it? The top 8, are broken away, and then 9th on back to 14th are broken away, and then back further, it is 15th down to 17th, I do believe, or maybe all the way back from there's a couple of stragglers 15. There, Brian, but okay. Yeah, there's 3 different groups. Yeah, there's 3 different groups, and then there's a trio that's just lost.
Which is this backpack right here of McDonald, Ostrander, and Miller.
I wouldn't really call them lost. They're just in between the next to last group. Like they are the in between. So the rear group might catch these guys. Well, they should, yes, in theory, because they have just a couple of more cars.
This is Madigan, Honeycutt, Salts, and Elliott. So I think all 4. Look at that. Yeah. As you see here, that second pack will now cause the front pack up here towards the front as they try to get that outside lane going. But the bottom lane still does have more cars in it.
Yeah, it always helps to have as many cars possible in your lane. That way, hopefully that lane will, be the best that it can be and propel its way forward with that momentum. But if you don't really have the numbers, sometimes all it just takes is just the straightest line. Everybody that holds the best line can sometimes just get there, but it takes a lot of work, takes a lot of effort, which we all know.
Yes, sir, indeed. But Baker's still up front. Well, I don't know why it says he's in the pits, but he is the lead car in this front train here. You see the, what's that, the 94? I think it's a 94 on the outside. Yes, the 94 had to check up a little bit, getting behind the 12 with that run that they had. Kind of stalled them out a little bit there. But now they will get reconnected back up and try to make that push, Will, on the outside lane. So anything is possible if you hold it nice, pretty, Will. You can get up to the front and get that outside lane rolling.
Haven't really seen a lot of big whoa moments, wow factors, nothing crazy as of yet, Brian, as far as people trying to change lanes, drastic maneuvers, evasive maneuvers. So still early goings, only 14 laps, So, like we talked about, that pit window, 25, 30 laps roughly, so maybe 31. There could be some guys going 31. If you save, you can save. It takes a lot to save at a plate track or super speedway, however you like to word them, but you can do it. It is possible.
Oh yeah, absolutely, indeed, Will. It is being quarter throttle at least to save you an extra lap and a half to 2 laps, depending on how much you're saving. Lifting on and off the throttle too will help a bit, not too much, but just enough to save the extra laps to get ahead of your fellow competitors out here.
14 cars in this lead draft. You have 5 on the outside, and that would mean you have 9 on the inside, I do believe, if math serves us correct.
Yes.
Or would that be 10?
No, that's 9.
Okay, yes, 9. Okay, always go with the gut, Willie. Always go with the gut. So, I mean, as it stands at the moment, early odds favorite, not a quarter of the way through yet, but early odds favorite looks to be Baker in this 3 machine, Brian. He's really controlling the race. I know it's only 15 laps in, but he seems to be really able to control the race along with the 34 car. I know they haven't been too challenged as of yet, but this outside lane finally coming to fruition, it looks like. Oh, but as we talked about it, they just got unkiltered just a little bit.
Yeah, the
but right back to the push. Right back to the push he goes to the 12. Just keeping on to the back bumper of that 77.
Just like that, then you see here the 34 is going to try to lay it 2 to 3, get the 3 back up to 1. Unless he wanted other cars to come out in the front so he can conserve a little bit more fuel, Will, than so he can go the extra little distance here a little bit. So time will tell as these guys get shuffled out and relined back up. So.
Well, we had a lead change for a moment. The 77 and the 12 took over the lead from the 3 and 34, but now the 94, Brian, with help, is going to take the lead that lap. They're going to drop in line in front. That trio drops in line in front of the duo that just took the lead.
Oh, yeah. That 3 car fell back now 5 spots from where he started, so.
Lost 5 spots within 2 laps, and that was just that outside lane. Basically coming along to say hello. The 34 was like, man, we lost all of our momentum. I'm going to try to go around the outside, try to make some hay. And he's got some help from the 44. So, looks like the 3 car is just content. Baker just content staying on that double yellow. He's not coming off of it, Brian.
No, he's not. He wants to protect that bottom lane. Doesn't want to give it up. Because, you know, one little off-kilter bump will shift that car a whole different way. As we've seen like today in today's race. A bad bump going wrong, it can jock the car. And then just hope that you can save her good and try not collect anybody else in with the wreck.
Oh, I think the 42 Cochran in that Sinclair car is kind of right where they want to be. I think they have a good enough, strong enough run. Oh, the 41 overtook him. Okay. Cochran went up the track. Okay.
Yes, he did. Well, now you see there that 3rd lane side drafting that inside lane to Try to
try to
slow. Yeah, sorry. I was eventually going to get out.
trying to build up a run, build up momentum, try to slow that inside lane down. If they can side draft down on that inside lane, pinch down from the outside, they can kind of slow those inside cars down to where that outside lane, just the three of them out there, can get one or two enough by to drop down like they just did, and they left the 12 hanging.
Oh yeah, that 12 is going to get boot scoot boogity on to the back. Mr. Tyler, thanks for coming out here tonight on YouTube. Yes, sir. Eventually, you'll be in the A class. Once again, congratulations on getting the D class. It's a work from there. So, but you got it. Keep your head up high and just get through the D class promotion and get to C class. So. Anyway, Fritz took over the lead, Will. Well, I wish
Yes, he.
SDK had a lead change coming. Because, boy, I love to use it.
Yeah, that would be nice instead of trying to remember, because we've had already quite a few in this opening quarter of the race. So the 34 kind of got tired of being behind the 3. He was behind him for quite a while. The 3 and the 34 got overtaken by a handful of drivers around the outside. Then he said, well, I can do that too. And that's what he did with some help from a friend. And they are 1-2 currently, the 34 and 44. And they're keeping a decent, car length or two distance over themselves and the field. And I say that, and the 77 and company are out there making a high line work. Every time I say something good about somebody, man, they are just doing something else. Right. So now another lead change occurs, Brian, like you were just talking about. You wish you had a lead change counter. So the 94 Bogaton, okay, yes, the 94. Well, hopefully we'll get to ask some of these guys, hey, how you pronounce your name? Anyway, so yes, the 94 car taking his car to the front. That Napa sponsored, I believe that was a Ford, right? No.
Looks like a Chevy. Sorry.
Yes.
Wait. Chevy.
I thought it had a Mustang nose.
Chevy.
Okay, it's a Chevy. I'm kind of like you. It went a bit too fast. But yes. Under the lights, kind of brownish black paint scheme, hard to tell.
Yeah. A little bit over 25 laps, they'll be halfway, Will. These drivers are doing a hell of a job at the moment.
You mean in 25 laps, they'll be halfway?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome, it's okay.
This is a big... Sorry.
There's only 3 Toyotas in this field.
Yeah, and the rest are all...
The rest... Yes, the rest are either Chevy or Fords here. But Chevy is highly numbered, so there's a high mathematical percentage that Chevrolet could win this race.
Oh yeah. We shall see though. But the 94 is still leading this front pack. Well, I would say within at least the next couple of laps, we will be seeing some scheduled green flag pit stops for sure.
It's either a Chevy or a Ford. I don't want to count a Toyota out, but they've only got 3 bullets in the gun. If you want to look at, it depends on your gun control stance. But anyway, I was going to say, if you want to look at it from that point of view, we got pit takers, Brian, pit takers. So
yeah, a whole bunch of them too. Pit lane.
About half the field coming down. 15th on back here, or not sure if that's where they were running, but that's where they are now. So now we have the rest of the field coming down to take their scheduled pit stops. So 25 to 27 laps on a full tank. Brian, let's jot that down possibly. If they go further, they could be crazy.
Yes, sir, indeed.
So we could be looking at, what do you say, 2 more pit stops?
Between 2 to 3,
One more.
I think.
3. You don't need 3 more, 2 more. You need 3 in total, I believe, I feel. Unless I just did math wrong again. It's okay, we could have done something else wrong. So, everybody now getting back up to speed. Pit stops can be the great equalizer here in the form of motorsport. Any racing series truly, really, that has to incur of getting, dropping from top speed down to a certain pit road speed. Then you have to hit your marks into your box, stop, and you have to hold for a period of time to get that required fuel and those 4 tires. If you take tires, you don't necessarily have to take tires, especially at a place like Daytona. Here, tires, they're not really a crucial factor, really, unless you're deciding to take the sports car circuit. If that was the event in today, but it's not. We're racing on the oval configuration and with these stock cars, so.
Yes, sir. See that the 46 working with the 41, the 3, and the 42. They are going to try to get up to P6 and try to run the leaders back down, or possibly will attach to those guys if they're not carrying too much speed. The bigger the pack, the faster you'll catch the front. So.
Well, if we go up to 4th, 5th, and 6th, we can see. I believe they are just in a trio of themselves, quite possibly, and then 1st and 2nd and 3rd, I do believe, are in a trio of themselves. So this foursome, I do believe we have it, should be greater and carry enough speed. Everybody's holding nice, steady wheels. Nobody, like we talked about, making harsh moves or everybody's thinking rational at the moment. That's good to know, good to see. It just takes one slip up, one wrong move. You could be doing everything you think that you're doing, everything perfect, right? But sometimes it just takes a false move.
Just as we said,
this trio
is going to now get linked up with the 7712 and the 78.
That looks exactly like what they're doing. Doesn't look like they're trying to exactly pull out and pass, but it could have been that their momentum kind of got stalled right as they got to this trio. So maybe, just maybe, they do indeed have that toe to run down that front trio, that lead trio of the 91, 94, and 34 machines, respectfully.
Yes, sir, indeed, as well. 33 of 100.
30. Took the words right out of my mouth, Brian. So just like we talked about, you can get split up from your battle group or your battle buddies, and I think that could have been what happened for some of the field during this sequence of pit stops that we just had, as we see some of the backer half of the field kind of split up and not as organized as what we have of the front of the field. So like we talked about, pit stops, great equalizer. Cannot emphasize that enough. I don't care what track you're at, what what racing series you're doing. That is always going to be the main benefactor forever.
Oh yeah, I agree with you. See there, the 77 and the 12 jump to the outside lane. Will trying to make something happen on the outside lane, but it's not going to happen with just two of them. Will
12 very hesitant, I think, and he probably should have just stayed at the bottom. Both of them possibly, because there was just nothing going. No run was going to build or come from it. But you never know unless you go and try or make an effort. So applaud.
oh yeah. You see
Yeah, that furniture road paint scheme, that was pretty decent. It's almost like a reversal, you know.
I like it. Not too bad.
Never really saw like a white furniture road car.
Well, now we did tonight. So anyway, the 91
So how many cars are in the front of the field? Oh, yep. Oh, yes. I didn't know you were going to talk. Yes, best timing at the same time. I was going to say 10 cars with under a second here, you know, that kind of was able to stay together after the pit cycle, Brian. So got 10 excellent racers here that are contending, trying to put themselves in the best position possible, but we still know at least 2 pit stops, you know, 25, 27 laps of fuel, so at least 2 more pit stops at least. So,
and 9 times out of 10, will they base it off of whoever the lead car is? So everybody else could have plenty of fuel to make an extra couple of laps, but they rather be in line, linked up, keep it one big pack, and go from there. You see there the 12 ever so slightly fallen off a little bit, but still in.
And I don't know if anybody could see it or not, but as that group, that first 10-car group was going into turns 3 and 4, the 11th place car was just coming off of turn 2. That lap prior. So that gives you an indication of how big of a lead this 10-car group has. They have a full straightaway lead over the nearest competitors. And that is just a trio, you know, that's 11th, 12th, and 13th position, and then there's about 2.5 seconds or 2 seconds back to more.
I forgot about the logos and track maps here. My apologies.
So, really calm, mild-mannered, you know, season opener here. Really love to see it.
Yeah, they're doing a hell of a job at the moment.
Oh, outstanding job. Excellent. About to be 40 laps into this race here shortly.
Yep, next time by they will be 40 laps in. Still very tight battle up here in the front.
A tight battle with 10 cars under a bed sheet. Any one of these 10 drivers at the moment, as it stands, has a shot to win this race. Like I said earlier, trying to set themselves in the right position possible.
You see here, well, we got like 5 different groups. We got the first 10 up here in the front. And then you have this second pack here of 3. leading by Jason Taylor. And then you got this next pack here of Madigan with these three. Then you got Chris Ostrander and those two. And then you have Antonio and that second group right back there. So 5 different groups. The biggest one is in the front row. I wonder if these guys are playing conservative with, okay, if the big one happens in the front, that's a lot of cars gone. But they do get one quick fix, so that's also a plus on their end. So
yeah, some people try to be a little bit more racy when they do have a quick fix. Others still try to play it close to the chest and keep it on them at all times. You know, they always try to. It would always be me as well. Like I would, regardless if I can repair my car or not, I never try to get involved in anything whatsoever. I want to always keep my car clean. I want to drive or act as if I can never repair my car, right? So, you know, you never want to get involved in nothing, never. But it's nice to have, you know, kind of like a fail-safe. You get one, you know, as you know, Spider-Man says, you know, everybody gets one. So it's nice to have it if you need it, but you don't want to use it. It's critical. Nice onboard shots here of looking back from the rear spoiler of the car.
that's Jonathan.
So everybody pretty cordial still. Everybody riding around, still biding time. This is still closing in on halfway. You know, we're still not even halfway yet in this 250-mile event. It stops coming in about maybe 12 laps, give or take. So I was going to say, maybe, Brian, we could do a crank it up real quick, do some more ride-alongs, and what have you. You know, all the awesome camera work that you like to do and pull off behind the scenes, you know.
Yeah, I try to do my best with it all.
Oh, fantastic work you always do, Brian.
I was thinking about doing it when they make their right after the next push run, because I know that's coming up in a couple of laps here. So,
well, we can wait and do that too after, you know, once they get grouped back up.
yeah. Anyway, well, next week's race, I do believe it is February 26th. To be race number 2 of that
Atlanta.
Atlanta. Be a nice
Yes,
little race there too as well. Not
back-to-back super speedways.
Oh, okay.
Yep, no, modern Atlanta. I thought I told you. My apologies. Modern Atlanta.
That's going to be another draft-dependent track. Extra tight turns. Um, yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's Atlanta. I know a lot of people prefer the old Atlanta, a little bit more of a living track. Today's Atlanta, you know, it has its up, it has its downs, for sure. So it would be good to see how that race turns out. Will.
I can imagine it can be probably similar to this race, more than likely, Brian, as far as you might have some drivers just decide to play it safe, kind of ride out what they could possibly feel like could be a very vicious storm, and then others just want to be up front. So that's how most super speedway races go, or speedway races. So.
Oh yeah. As you see, they're heading down that long backstretch there, going into turns 3 and 4. 41 behind the 78.
Atlanta also has the tightest degree of radius of a super speedway, so that's another challenge that these drivers will have to face next week compared to this week. You can kind of relax a little bit going through the corners of Daytona, but not as much as you can going through Talladega, though.
Oh, yeah. Talladega is a little bit more wider, so you're capable to hit the full wide mark. So,
depending on where you are in line here at Daytona, you will get your most relaxing on the back straightaway. That is when you will be able to kind of readjust, focus, just for a few moments, is on the back straightaway. That is when you should do it. Some do it coming out of turn 4 right before the tri-oval. Others do it right before you go into turn 1. I always preferred, if I always had to take a sip of something, adjust. Same way with Talladega. I always did it on the back straightaways.
Oh yeah, the back straights are always the best way to do it as well. But next time by, they will be halfway. The drivers ticking these laps down, getting ready, like, all right. And the next handful of laps here, it's almost crunch time. So
this race is drawing into what I've watched Saturday night. It has a lot of characteristics of that race, Brian, where you have this front pack that can kind of pull away or has pulled away to a substantial lead, and it's going to just maybe keep gaining ground, or that these back packs just won't be able to run it down. And we are 2/4 of the way in, and we've already been caution free, so we may not see a caution tonight. You know, we didn't see a caution Saturday night.
Nope.
And it's very, I kind of say it's crazy. It's unbelievable whenever you can get a caution free super speedway race. It can happen, but you know, you at least normally see 1 or 2, you know, no less than 5 cautions, I feel, if it's a good group of drivers.
Absolutely,
sometimes,
I agree with you.
You know, sometimes you never see none. And that's when the unbelievable sets in, so.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm sure a lot of these guys, I'm not too sure, I'm sure some of them did NIS, which is you're actually they iRacing does it every year. You do the full 500 miles of Daytona.
Oh yes, and that's a lot of preparation and work. Say if you got leagues in that week, you know, that's a lot of logging laps, a lot of time, you know. getting practice at a track, and it just so happens to be Daytona. So if a lot of those guys did what you say they probably could have done, then yes, that would have been a bit more of experience.
Yes, sir. iRacing only does selective races full length. I think it's Daytona, and I think it's the Coke 600. I think those two are the only ones that I do know of at the time. I could be missing a few others, but otherwise, all the others are half. As you see there, that second pack did go into the pits. So I'm sure this time by, this front pack is going to be making their scheduled pit stop. So from 11th down to 16th is now in the pits. And then the 17th and 18th also pitted too as well. And then a few others in the back. So I wonder if this front pack is now going to make their scheduled pit stop. Yes, sir, indeed will. They will. Oh, 91 almost hit the back. I mean, the 94 almost hit the back of that 91. As the race to pit road here, Will.
Sure hope the 34 doesn't get nabbed for speeding entering, because he was right at the line. So let's hope everything's good with these pit stops.
Let's hope so, Will. I hope he didn't, because he does have a quick car for sure. So, as we watch this race out of the pits, you see there the 78 gets a good pit stop there, but the 91 is going to win that race off of pit road, Will.
Makes you wonder if some of these guys have like the pit limiter button on. If you can do that, I don't
yes,
know
sir,
if
you can do it. But I don't know.
So,
but that only works with assist. Like if somebody they would put on the assist, then you can.
oh, okay.
As long as the assist is on, then you have the option to use that pit limiter. So I do believe all these drivers did make their pit stops. So we will now like to bring you guys our favorite part of the night. The crank it up section, so you guys get a lot more closer view. Hear the sounds of these wonderful next-gen cars, and give you crank it up. tonight, Will. Always have a little blink in there from Honeycutt. We're right on board with Adam.
Yeah, we have the 814 and the 067 of Honeycutt and yes, the 814.
Madigan.
Thank you. Dang me.
Yes,
anyway, not to take a look.
All right. I do see we have a couple cars one lap down, Will. It's going to be a long haul. They're going to try to get their lap back the hard way and try from the best from there. So you see Will there in that 78 behind the 12.
Well, Will's been doing a great job. He's been up front this entire race. A lot of these fellas been up here the entire time, so they know what their cars can do. A lot of the guys back there, further on back, and some of these guys that have went a lap down because they haven't been up here in this front draft, this front group. They chose to either just do that, well, I'm going to ride around strategy. I don't want to get caught up in nothing. So now the leaders has caught up to them. They have got caught up in something type of strategy. So, you know, it's almost backfired on them now, Brian. They're either a lap down or in danger of going a lap down, or they're up in the scrap. So they either need a caution and not be a part of the caution to be back on the lead lap, or back in the hunt, back in the fight for this. So at the moment, we still need one more pit stop. It's going to come. Yep. Yeah, we're having some moments now. That
was all right. There's a little hole there. I have a car length enough to get in there. Oh, a wild push from the 44 to the 34. Almost makes the 34 lose control there. Had a very slight bobble, Will.
Yeah, you say slight, I say major, off of just about everybody that we were going ooh and ah and wow while ago, and still they are back racing side by side. That outside lane, taking the lead again, is the 34-44 duo. Back to the front goes Crux. Hopefully, we will get correction. Sorry for the butchering, the first race with a new league, or even first race of a new season. We're all the time mispronouncing names. Who else but, commentators. But anyway, looks like, who is that going a lap down? I couldn't get a... I was trying to get a look at the number.
That looks like... Well, he was up front too early on.
Oh, that was the 24, I believe. Yes, it was. Yes.
He just went down.
Randy Sample going a lap down here.
Very unfortunate. He was up front majority of this race. Maybe a mishap, Will, in the pits. Not too sure. But now they're starting to get that second lane.
In total, Brian, we still have 10 cars up here, but the McDonald car in danger of losing the lead draft with the 41. A few of these front runners kind of in danger, but now they're back in a tow. Never mind, I spoke too soon. I'm just going to stop speaking too soon.
No, you're good.
Yes. Every time I think they're losing, they're getting dragged back in.
Yes,
sir, indeed. So 94 leads this group. He's probably dragging back, getting a tow. So that is 6th position. Like I said, some of these are lap down cars with the lead lappers up here in, amongst the 10-car scrap for the lead. You might as well call it.
Yep. You see the 94 going to the outside lane. Will was hoping he could bring that pack with him. Unfortunately, it's not. He's going to get behind the 91 there and give him a push.
I am expecting the next round of pit stops anywhere between laps 78 to 81.
Which should probably be the last pit stop.
Oh, no doubt about it. They should make it home from there. Everybody trying to figure out where they want to be, trying to get the right position possible. 34, 44, and 3. Those 3 cars look to be the 3 best cars. If you want to win this race, you are going around those 3 competitors. If they can stay together, stay formed up on and off pit road for the final time of asking.
Oh, they have that trio working pretty good for them. Oh boy, Robert's in danger of losing the draft to that second pack there. Indeed he did. Very important. That is a crucial thing, Will. Once you fall off so much, that is it. You are now caught falling off the pack here. You see Ostrander going to the outside lane, going to try to maybe side draft a little bit here to possibly slow that down. No, he does not.
Yeah, I don't even think Roberts has a tow off of the lap down machine that's behind McDonald's. So, as you say, he is drastically losing this lead front. But, hey, he's got a good gap as far as, when they start to get racy, if they do before they pit. So if anything was to happen, maybe he could back it down in time and avoid all the melee. But if not, he'll just get swallowed up by the clutches of 11th place.
And just like that, he will now fall in with that second pack back there.
Because they have a pretty decent sized pack, I'd have to say.
Up here in the front, yeah.
About 4 or 5 of them. Mm-hmm. Well, no, I was saying back behind Roberts. There's about 5 of them, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
But this is a big group, like we talked about. It's got some lap downers in it. But that doesn't mean they're slow by no means. They just got caught off-kiltered. They were probably expecting a caution. They were just in conserve mode, riding around. And then others, just never can tell. You just always expect the unexpected, so...
Oh yeah. So 34, 44, 3 all in line together. Doing a great job keeping single file with little gaps in between, Will.
Yeah, if you're just wanting to play it safe, run smart, but stay up front, this is the way to do it.
That was a little bit there from, let's say that's Honeycutt? I think so. Oh, I've seen the car up high there. That could have been a costly mistake there, but doing his best to stay out the way from this lead pack. At 75 with 100 laps complete here. You see the 55 trying to get a tow from the 814. Yes, so that'll be Honeycutt.
3/4 of the way through.
Question is, Will, when do they start getting racy here?
After their final pit stop. That's probably what everybody has been waiting for, that final pit stop, Brian. Who is going to be left to race after this final pit stop is said and done?
That's what I'm ready to see here. And it's like you said before, your capitalization on the pits. Getting on and then hitting your box the correct way and then being smooth as you can off pit road without getting any form type of speeding penalty. Well,
yes, mistake-free, on and off pit road, hit your box, hit your marks, don't speed whatsoever.
25 laps to go, Will.
Austin Hill.
Yep, secured stage 2.
Sorry for anyone who's not watching. Spoilers. They could happen.
Me and Will enjoy watching NASCAR.
We're racing fanatics.
Yeah, there you go. I kind of like that 814 car too as well. More of a Ricky Bobby look.
That's what it is, Brian.
I know.
It's the Ricky Bobby me car.
The only thing I saw was the back. I want to go fast. So Critch, Taylor, Baker, Madigan, Honeycutt, Bolton, Trokzinski, Mazzella, McDonald, and Cochran.
I was going to say everybody's going fast right now, Brian, so they're living that motto. But yes, what a top 10 this is. As we see, Cochran, he's lost the top 10. That's another one to check off that has lost this front battle group draft, you might want to call it. The top, now there's only 9 really that could settle it if it stays green from here on out. Like we talked about, still expecting another pit stop to occur.
22 laps to go, Will.
22 laps to go, and my oh my. And all the racing I've called so far this week from Daytona, this has been another doozy of a race as far as, going into it, the expectations, kind of the hype is kind of real as far as just how good of a race can be unfolded here. And, man, a lot of strategy has been unfolded, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because I do believe once we see this final pit stop occur, everybody will get racy here, can get racy.
21 laps
We're going to see it.
I'm ready to see that side draft becoming effect in stall out a few cars, see what they can do, and because you know and I know it's always normally the last 10 laps of a race they start getting antsy, but when it's really that crunch time, the crunch time is with 5 laps to go. So excuse me.
Yes, that true crunch time, like you talked about, that 10, 5 laps to go. Some really say 15, others say 10. You know, between 15 to 5 laps to go, bam. That is that pay window, that money window, that all right checkered flag, you know, is in sight window, and you know. Others debate it, like we talked about. Is it 15? Is it 10? Is it 5? Some say, oh, 3 laps. Just give me 3 laps. I think, man, if you haven't made your move, if you're further back than 5th, and you haven't started making your moves, what happened here? What has happened? What has happened? Somebody ran out of gas? Somebody started sputtering? What has transpired here?
It looked like
my goodness,
miscommunication with going into the pits, I would say, or possibly, like you said, run out of fuel.
The 3 car, yes, Baker goes down into the pits, and I don't know, man.
Oh, here they all come. Oh, what a hard charge. Oh, can he get locked down? Yes, you can. Oh, it's going to be close. That's going to be a close one.
A lot of these drivers. 8 drivers here trying to settle it amongst themselves in the closing laps of this race.
You see there, the 3 wins the race off. And then Honeycutt, then the 814. Oh, it's going to be interesting, Will.
Honeycutt wins the race off then, because the 3, I think the 3 was still on pit road serving a penalty or something, Brian. I don't know, but...
Oh, I think so. He might have came in too fast.
Yes, because remember, he pitted the lap before, so...
That's right, yes he did. Oh, that's going to be costly. Oh, that's a heartbreaker. Uh-oh. Oh, there you go, Honeycutt's back. You see it at 77 of Spear, and then the 98.
So everybody's made their pit stop, their final pit stop of the evening. They're good to go on fuel. 17 laps to go. Who's going to make the moves to do, you know, what they need to do to win this race, Brian?
It's going to be a close one, that's for sure. You got the 814, then you got Honeycutt, then you got Krasinski, then you got the 12. Oh no, the 12's a lap down, I do believe. No, he ain't. He's third.
No.
Never mind.
No.
That's my fault.
The Mobile 1 car. The Mobile 1 car is a lap down, right?
That's it, yes. Because the 12 is third,
So the 55 car is a lap down.
no, the 55 is actually the 067.
Okay, the 55 is the 67 in disguise. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. 10-4. Because I've been wondering where the 067 was the entire time.
Yes. So that third
Now
car
we can have a laugh.
there is Elliott. So that's the 8 car.
so the 8 car is a lap down.
Yes.
Yes, he's the first car 1 lap down, so if a
And the
caution would come out,
44.
he would be the lucky dog.
Not no more. The 44 got the... Oh, no. That's going to be the 8, yes.
He is, yes, he's making sure, Brian, if a caution does come out late in this race, he's making sure.
That he's the first car to get that lap back. Now, if he gets any type of contact, he loses that. So if a caution does come out, he's going to have to pull out of line real quick to make sure.
Yes, to make sure he doesn't.
Yes, sir. Receive any contact. Because if that's the case, then it goes to the 44.
Next individual in line.
But as the way it looks, they're all nose to tail here. You see Madigan gets a bump by Honeycutt there.
Yes, excellent work that Honeycutt is doing. He knows exactly where to be pushing these cars.
Oh yeah, 8:14, still in the lead with 13 laps to go, Will.
So we have 4 drivers up here to settle amongst themselves if it stays green in the final 13 laps of this race.
Yes, sir, indeed. Overall, Will, I would say a great race. What a dominant performance by these guys. So we know what we're looking forward to coming into the next race.
Oh yes, going forward, just not the next race, but throughout the season, stellar performance. The opening race of the season, that is for sure, with this Daytona season opener. So,
problem is Honeycutt going to dip out of line, though, is the question when it comes down to...
Well, yes, what do you do? Because the 3rd car in line, you know, does he go with you? You know, what is all... Is that car in front of you? Are you working together? Are you teammates? Like, what are all these kind of factors involved here in the closing laps of this race? Do you ask yourself, you know, yeah, you can push someone all day, but when it gets to that white flag coming off a turn 4, and you can see that stripe and see the checkered flag waving, you know, what do you do? Because presumptuously, you know, coming off a turn 4 is when you want to make your move if you can, but if you can make it sooner, ideally, but best to make it just coming off a turn 4.
Yes, sir, indeed. Coming to 10 laps to go, Will, as the 8:14 crosses the line to make that 10 laps to go. Oh, that was almost a oopsie there by the 067. Almost hooked the 8:14 in the right rear, which almost will send him up the track.
Well, luckily, everything is still A-OK. They're still got the ship sailing in the right direction.
Oh, yeah.
6 cars in total. 2 are 1 lap down. The other 2 are... I'm sorry, the other are racing for the win here this evening.
Yes. So the 12, the 92 are the other 2 fighting for position here. So the 8 and the 44 are the lap down cars, Will. Now this can get interesting. So the 12 and the 94 can go to the outside with that lap car of the 44. The 814 and the 067 also have a lap car behind them. So either way, there's a lap car with them either way.
So what you're saying is a lap car could determine the winner, the outcome of this race.
Yes, sir. So P3 and P6 in this formation here, they are lap cars. So 1 and 2 and 4 and 5 are the lead lap cars. Seven laps to go here in the AMS Cup Series. Who will crown victory from the Daytona 250 here on the BNR Racing Network?
You can see right there, Honeycutt very aggressive going into turn 3 that one time. How much more aggressive is he going to be to the back bumper of that 814 machine of Madigan?
Could he be extra aggressive to maybe throw him off his lane, get him a little loose, get him to bobble up a little bit to slide out of the lane? As you see
that
there.
Could be a tactic to use. But he could also be looking to the outside as well. Coming to 5 laps to go.
Yeah, you might try to risk it here and be like, all right, well, that 5 to go, so as they hit the line here, 5 laps to go in the AMS Cup Series. You see there the 94 hanging back a little bit from that 12, trying to collect that momentum to maybe where if the 12 decides to step out, then he can group up that run and give him a shot and hopefully get the 12 up there. A little side draft can also help them get up there too as well, as long as the 94 sticks with the 12. But you see here the 44 is going to pass that 94 on the outside, try to at least, but the 44 can't quite get it done there. 4 laps to go, Will.
4 laps to go. Can Madigan stay ahead of Honeycutt? Is Honeycutt going to make a move? Is there any way that the 12 of Troyansky can get by this 8 car that is sitting currently P3 in the line, but 1 lap down, trying to stay ahead of the 44 in case a caution comes out with a lucky dog?
Oh yeah. 67 giving a push to the 814, going to try to get him out as far as he can, maybe make a move coming out of 3 and 4, perhaps. But then yet again, there's still those extra 2 laps and plenty of time for the 12 and 94 to make that move to get by the 067 and the 814. Now, if the 12 and the 94 do jump to the outside lane, Will, does the 067 or the 814 try to put that block and risk everything with
I
that?
think, yes, you almost have to. You almost have to attempt to block If you don't block leading this entire time, it was all for naught.
Next time by, we will get the white flag here.
As we go down the back straightaway for the penultimate time, it is Madigan in the lead, followed by Honeycutt in that 55 in disguise. I should say the 67 in disguise of the 55. They have a pretty decent lead. The other fellows has kind of backed up to them.
There's that block that we were talking about.
Here it is. Here goes the block. Honeycutt goes up the track.
Gets wrecked.
Yes. Sliding down. Oh, he saves it. Somehow he saves it side by side. Honeycutt and the 90. Oh, man.
Oh, and the 12 is going to go to the outside, Will. As Honeycutt washes up, puts the 12 in the wall. 12 shoots back to the inside. Right there. Oh, no.
Oh, he's gonna get Honeycutt loose. Back up the track. Honeycutt's going to have to block the 94. 94 is going to get down, get a tow. Here come to the line. Who's it going to be? Beating and banging on the back of Honeycutt.
Oh.
Turns Honeycutt. Honeycutt still wins the race.
What a good finish. What a great finish.
Outstanding brawl on the final lap. It was a roadhouse brawl, and Honeycutt comes out victorious.
Let's go back and watch that final lap on board with Honeycutt. Boy, he was really wheeling and dealing, Will. Absolutely, he was.
Beating and banging the entire time, rubbing his racing. I told you what, when they saw that white flag, they got to racing. That is no other way else but to describe it. They go to make this move.
You see the 94 to the inside of Honeycutt, Will.
Honeycutt stays out here to the outside, gets up here to break away, gets as far away that he can from the 94, and he ducks in front of him. So, got this huge run coming from the 12. Going down this back straightaway here, 12 gets up, side drafts, and here comes Honeycutt, and cuts off the 12. The 12 goes into the wall. The 8 is still here, shockingly. And across the back bumper goes the 12. Honeycutt comes back down, swipes back down across the track to block the 12 once again. And all the way down. Remember, can't use the double yellow line to pass, so you got to come back up on the track. So the 12 swipes the bumper of Honeycutt once again. But here comes the 94 chasing after Honeycutt. He is the leader. He's controlling all this madness because the 12 has been, swipe or no swiping all over the back of the bumper of the 67. But here came the 94 to try his, chance. And, man, they really got to it here. Coming off of the final corner.
To the turn. Honeycutt says, I see what you were doing. Don't think so. I'm going to run you down here. Because that line is out of bounds, so you're not going to be able to pass. Continues the mirror ride. The 94 sees every which way that the 94 is going. A little sideways there, and Honeycutt will come across the line as the winner of tonight's Daytona race.
Masterful driving from Honeycutt, keeping his competitors at bay, keeping them behind him, knowing, just taking them to the limit, basically, and excellent wheelmanship. They were trying every which way to try to basically get him out of the front, and he was able to steer that car straight enough qualifying results,
Yeah, I
and
know. I got it
it
back
just
too.
10-4. But just, man, excellent drive on the final lap, caution-free Daytona race, Brian. 250 miles caution-free. Can't say how tremendous that is. So
we'll go ahead and talk to Kevin. Mr. Kevin, how is it going, sir?
Whew! I am exhausted after after that long green flag race.
It was very exciting at the end, that's for sure. That's what me and my little buddy here were talking about. Like, when are they going to get it spicy? And we were calling roughly around the 10 to 5 lap mark. And you guys were pretty patient for the majority of the part. We've seen a lot of ups and we've seen a lot of downs through some of the drivers. Unfortunately, for the 814 had a hell of a race. He did. He was pretty good. You were dominant too as well. But anyway, congratulations on the P3.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Hard-fought podium finish for you. Go ahead and describe to the fans who were watching. We had quite a lot of viewers, so that's awesome. Awesome to see that. Go ahead and describe to everybody how it was from the start of the race to about towards the end, and how the intensity was starting to rise a bit.
The first, the couple laps there, it was really great. There was some, side-by-side racing and whatnot, and then things got spread out there on the first pit stop. I wasn't sure how it was going to go, but on my first pit stop, I took left sides, full tank of fuel, obviously, and then the next pit stop, I took right sides and topped it off, and then I was still there up on the lead pack and whatnot, so I was trying to figure out when I was going to pit. So once, the drivers were saying, hey, I'm coming in this time, I followed suit, and I didn't take any tires on that last stop, and just some 7 gallons of fuel, and that's had great pit stops all day long. Want to thank my pit crew down there in the pits, and just smooth entry into the pits and exit out of the pits, because a lot of these races is won and lost on pit road, especially when there's no cautions.
Oh, absolutely, I agree with you. Next week, you guys head to Atlanta. What's going to be your mindset and strategy going into Atlanta?
That one, it's a little tricky for me. It's obviously a super speedway package, but it does not drive like a Daytona or a Talladega. So I'm probably going to be chilling out in the back and feeling how things are, and trying to keep my race car clean, because sometimes you get points by attrition. So
absolutely, I agree with you. Will, do you have anything for good old Kevin here?
just what was the final few laps, like the mindset, the process, like what you were just ultimate beating and banging there at the final lap turned into a brawl, really essentially. But just try to take us there if you can, just for just a brief moment.
So the two cars that were in the lead, I think they were teammates, they're friends. So I had the car in front of me, Greg Alley. I think he was a lap down, and the car behind me was on the lead lap, so he was for position. And then the car behind him was a lap down. So I knew I had some help. So I was trying to hope that Greg Elliott would, when he popped out like that, that would have been great. I would have had all the friends, behind me pushing, 4 cars versus 2. And it didn't work out like that. You saw the carnage that happened, and sometimes things don't go the way as planned. But overall it was a great race. So I'm happy with my Ford Mustang Menards peak vehicle.
Yes, sir, indeed.
Yes, sir. Just a quick question. How do you pronounce your last name, sir?
I was just
Trozinski.
Trozinski. Okay.
Yep.
Trozinski.
Yep.
Okay.
So I was right then. So.
Any final thoughts, shout-outs, anything you'd like to give before we let you go celebrate that podium finish there, Troy?
I want to thank everyone out there watching. Hopefully next week it'll be some more carnage. That one, it was. Let me tell you, I'm sweating right now just sitting in my chair. So come out next week, and I just want to thank all the league members who came out today, and for some of those who actually missed the race because they're in Daytona for the races. So shout out to them too.
Yes, sir, buddy. Awesome job on the P3. I want to say it's an honor to pull you up here and try to keep that podium finish going into Atlanta.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, buddy. You have yourself a good one.
You too.
All right, well, you can do the honors of Mr. Adam here. See if we can pull Adam up here. Adam, you got a copy.
Adam?
He might not be there.
Oh, sorry.
There he is. There he is.
Hey. So, Adam, bit of I would say, bit of a fatiguish night it can be whenever you don't have any cautions, especially running, 250 miles just flat out for the most part. Tell us about it. The start was pretty racy from the get-go, the first 16 to, I would say, to that opening pit stop, and then you were able to stay connected to that front group, and you just never left them. So it kind of seemed like one by one, a few of you were kind of dropping away, but you never left that front group. And, just kind of give us your mentality throughout the race, and then, give us your perspective of the final handful of laps. Yes.
Oh, we had a pretty good car for the most race. Early on there, I was working with my teammates, which was the 91, the 98, and the 77. We were able to jump up there, get the draft, or get the lead out at the early part. So we had control of it until the first pit stop there. Then a couple of them had a couple issues, and we got separated. And then from there, it was just a matter of just hanging out, trying to do our best to hang on to the lead pack. And I was able to. Fortunately, I was able to do that better than the other three guys. And we were just able to keep in contention there at the end. For the most part, it was just logging laps there. There's a lot more. For the Daytona races I've done so far this week, this is by far the calmest and most laid back race that I've done this week so far.
I agree with you on that. I've done a few of them myself this week, and they've been brutal.
But good clean racing for the most part, and then coming down at the end there just came up a little short. I was hoping I would have had a little bit more momentum there and would have been able to get past the 67 there. But just wasn't able to clear him. Got stalled out, and then the cars behind us regrouped, and they got connected there at the end, and had a shot off for turn 4, and just couldn't get the run going. 67 had a good block, and came away with P2.
I believe you were the only Chevy up here, so there was a high chance that a Ford or a Chevy was going to win. There was only 3 Toyotas in this race, so. Not a lot of Toyotas here, it looks like. So, American Power, I guess, is what a lot of you guys like to say over here for the most part. But Atlanta next week, what's the thoughts, preparation, mindset going into Atlanta? That newly reformed, it's always been a super speedway in my mind, but yes, the just refurbished Atlanta, I guess we could say.
Pretty much the same as the mentality for this race. You sure want to qualify good there, and then if you can get track position over the course of the run, the high side will become more dominant as the tires start wearing. And so you're gonna want to make sure that you have a decent group you can work with, and you want to try to control that high line as best you can, especially if it goes green for a long time. But I foresee some cautions next week, because it's a lot more easy to make up time at Atlanta versus Daytona is.
Yes, sir. Any final thoughts, shout-outs, anything you'd like to add?
I'll give a shout out to you guys for putting on a good show tonight. Shout out to Kevin, Chris, and Greg for hosting the league. They put on good racing. Usually a lot of green flag racing and hardly any cautions. And for having 20 plus people tonight, it was awesome to go flag to flag.
Yes, awesome indeed. And thank you for the kind words. So, can't wait to see what next week holds in store, especially for you at Atlanta. Good run. And kind of have to get a list of all the teammates and teams and everything before Atlanta. So that is going to be good to have indeed. You listed off all your teammates, and I already forgot them. Man, I'm gonna really need that list. So yes, indeed. So congratulations, and go celebrate that P2. That was like a good photo finish with you and Troy.
Yeah, we'll do. You guys have a good one.
Thank you. Last but not least, Mr. Honeycutt. We can get him up here, Ryan. Honeycutt, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
How's it going?
Going good. How about you?
We're doing all right. A great show at the end there for sure. Very exciting. We were trying to figure out who was going to make the move and who was going to spice it up a bit. So me and Will thought that was a great finish towards the end there. Awesome job on the win for sure. Well deserved. You played it right. You played all the keys right to winning the race, protecting your lane and watching where everybody was going. Go ahead and give a thorough rundown of the overall race and the overall performance that everybody has done, and what you thought was the most challenging part of tonight.
Well, at the start of the race, Joseph missed the start. That's my buddy. We were kind of teammates this race. So he missed the start, or the grid. So when we went green, I immediately slammed the brakes on, and I waited on him, and I'm thinking we're going to get a caution. So coming around to the start of the race, we're already 20 seconds behind the leader. And as we know now, it went green. So we were able to, we had a little bit of help, but it was mainly just me and him the whole time. We found this really good system to just make up time, and we were just digging in and off of pit road, and just the way we were able to bump draft. He was able to hold just a perfect line. It was like, I really don't think I've ever seen be someone so perfect with their wheel and be that good of a lead car. So we were able to make up, a 20-second deficit and get up with them. And it didn't even take the whole race. It took just 50 or 60 laps. That's just how great he was able to, perform, and that helped me so much. And so once we were able to catch them, I kind of felt like we had all this experience coming up through the field, and just we had found a system that works. So I kind of thought we were in a good situation. We go to the last pit stop, and we get in and off pit road, and I was like, it's just me and you, and then we got a lap car, and then we got 2 more cars, and that's it. And we come with our last lap, and I seen Greg, so I block it, and then Greg got in the back of Joseph, and I was like, no one's gonna wreck my teammate. I said that over chat. And then it was on, and I kind of threw some crazy blocks there at the end, But it was a fun race. But can't say enough about how great Joseph was as a teammate to be able to, I wouldn't even be close to the win if it wasn't for him.
Yes, sir, indeed. Okay, well.
I was just going to say, coming down at the end, you did what you had to do to secure the win here tonight, and I don't blame you. I've kind of done the same myself in past experience at a plate track. That's what you got to do sometimes. And when you have so much of a lead over the next group, you can do all this mad blocking and beating and banging and battling with that one group that you're a part of, right? Two to try to win this race. Everything in your power, and that means, going all the way down to that double yellow, two blocker run, or all the way up to the wall. You have that freedom. So, like you said, you threw these massive blocks, and it paid off for you. Luckily, you did not get turned in some of these swiping or motions. Like, you were able, you such a wheel man, I would have to say, because you were able to just have that wheel straight. So just congratulations on this win, season opener here. Next week, Atlanta. Are you going to basically have the same game plan or the same mindset and mentality with Atlanta?
Yeah, so actually I think with Atlanta it'll be a little bit different. Like here, I've spotted for ARCA cars in real life here, so I kind of had an idea of how to calculate where the runs are coming and kind of just how to get, block those runs. But Atlanta, it's a different animal. It's, you're gonna want to have a few guys that you trust. You're not gonna be able to just do it with one guy, and you're gonna want to be able to make sure that, like, you get about 10, 15 laps in a run in Atlanta, and you're on edge. So it's going to be about, who's the better driver, and it'll be a lot more. I think it'll be a lot more like on track based instead of where this race it was kind of like it was who got through pit road the best. So that'll be a lot more on track based, and it'll be a little bit interesting. But it's still like it's not a restrictor plate, it's a spacer track, but it'll still be an interesting race, and I think it definitely won't go green to checkered in my opinion, but it'll definitely be a good race, and I look forward to maybe hooking up with Joseph again. That way we can tandem like we did today, because he was just amazing.
Well, that was beautiful because, like you said, I didn't really notice you guys. You guys were down at the bottom of the totem pole, and then, like you said, at the end of the second pit stop, you guys were up here, and it was kind of like, where did they come from type of moment. We didn't really know. We were kind of puzzled. We were like, man, they up here somehow. They did it. They made it work somehow by obviously. Were you guys just taking fuel?
I mean, we were doing fuel and 2 tires, but I think we were just able to get on and off as quick as possible. Just
tremendous work by you guys, and just all that driving you did on that final lap, just amazing too. Any final thoughts, shout outs, anything you'd like to add before we let you go celebrate?
Yeah, just like I said, shout out to Joseph, and that, and shout out to all the people in real life that give me opportunities, and the Wings and Wheels Foundation for letting me spot for a bunch of their drivers, and just everyone that I've met along the way.
Yes, sir, indeed. Awesome job on the wind, and hopefully we'll see you in Victory Lane next week.
Yeah, I hope so. See you guys.
Yes, sir, you too. Anyway, Will, that will do it for tonight's awesome race. Another caution-free race here from Daytona. A lot of excitement at the end, which is what we were hoping for, and that's what we got. I would say I'm very impressed with this side. Bunch of great drivers that are capable to maintain their line and composure, and have a great fight at the end of the race. So.
Oh yes, fantastic group of guys, and overall fantastic race. Can't wait to see next week, race 2, Atlanta. Surely to be another just barn burner of a race. At the end of this race, it turned into a barn burner. I tell you what, Brian, that beating and banging, all the racing they were doing at the basically speechless, Brian. So next week, it's sure to be just as intense.
Yes, sir, indeed. Anyway, from myself, Brian Hupp, to Will Roberts, we want to thank you guys ever so dearly for coming out, tuning into the stream, cheering on your favorite drivers. Also, watching the Xfinity race. The Xfinity race been a hell of a race so far. But You will catch us back live here tomorrow as the B&R Truck Series heads to, I think it's Milwaukee. We'll be off Thursday. So we want to thank you guys for coming.